Hello from Who Died Today America, and welcome back to our channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars whom we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Ben never walked into a room quietly, not because he craved attention, but because his joy did. Ben Lewis, whose heart shone as brightly as his talent, has passed away. Revered by friends, colleagues, and an ever-growing fan base, Ben left a powerful imprint on the entertainment world and on every person lucky enough to know him. He won audiences over with his breakout role as William Clayton on the CW's Arrow, portraying one of TV's first openly gay superhero characters. With poise and sincerity, Ben made representation feel real and necessary. The role wasn't just performance, it was purpose. Off-screen, Ben became a champion for LGBTQ+ visibility in entertainment. Fiercely intelligent, quick with a dry joke, and endlessly empathetic, he used his voice beyond the set. Whether appearing on panels, mentoring young actors, or fundraising for queer youth organizations, Ben never forgot where he came from or who he was reaching. His performances in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Degrassi, The Next Generation, brought early acclaim, while his work on stage showcased the full breadth of his theatrical roots. But it was his authenticity that made each role unforgettable. He didn't play a part, he embodied a truth. Actor and friend Stephen Amell called him an artist who made you better just by sharing the work. A scene with Ben meant you had to show up with your whole heart. Ben is survived by his husband, musician and actor Blake Lee, and their rescue dog, Todd, whom Ben often called the love triangle. Their life together, full of affection and laughter, became a quiet beacon of hope and possibility for so many. Though our screens have quieted without him, Ben's voice still echoes in every teenager who feels seen, every actor who dares to be real, and every friend recalling a private moment of kindness that meant everything. Ben Lewis lived boldly, loved deeply, and reminded us all that storytelling is a sacred thing. And in the story of his life, he played every note true. He will be missed and remembered always. She made the raunchy respectable and the posh wildly relatable, said one fellow writer, summing up what so many readers knew instinctively. Dame Jilly Cooper had a gift for storytelling that transcended class and convention. Dame Jilly Cooper, the celebrated author and journalist whose sharp satire, romantic plot lines, and larger-than-life characters made her a beloved figure in British literature, passed away on October 5, 2025, at the age of 88. Born in Hornchurch, Essex, Jilly Cooper shaped the cultural landscape with words as vivid as the county she came from. Her career began in journalism, where her columns and nonfiction works brought fearless honesty and biting humor to everyday life. That same wit would later become the hallmark of her fiction. Her breakthrough as a novelist came in 1975, but it was the Rutshire Chronicles, most notably Riders, Rivals, and Polo, that enthralled millions. Drenched in passion, scandal, and charm, these books offered not only escapism, but a knowing wink to the idiosyncrasies of British society. Her worlds were filled with polo fields, stately homes, and unforgettable rogues, but always grounded in empathy. Adaptations of her work, including the recent Disney Plus version of Rivals, introduced her storytelling to a new generation, proving her relevance throughout changing times. More than just a successful writer, Dame Jilly was admired for her down-to-earth nature and kindness. Her decades-long marriage to Leo Cooper and their adopted children were constants in a life richly lived. Friends, readers, and peers alike described her as generous with her time and endlessly curious about people. Queen Camilla remembered her as a legend and a wonderfully witty and compassionate friend, while Rishi Sunak called her a storyteller whose wit and love of characters brought joy to millions. Known for championing love in all its messy, exuberant forms, Dame Jilly Cooper wrote not only about romance, but about humanity. Her stories made us laugh, blush, cry, and cheer, often all at once. She leaves behind her family, including 5 adored grandchildren, and a literary legacy that spans generations. In every dog-eared paperback lining countless bookshelves, her spirit lives on. Dame Jilly Cooper didn't just write about love, she gave it freely to the world, and in turn, the world loved her back. Their words carved truth, their films held mirrors. So spoke a colleague of Xavier Durringer, reflecting on the bold storytelling that defined his life. The revered French playwright, screenwriter, and director passed away on October 4, 2025, at the age of 61 in his home in L'Isle-sur-la-Sorgue. His sudden departure leaves a profound silence in the world of French cinema and theater. For over 30 years, Durringer shaped the artistic landscape with an uncompromising gaze on politics, society, and humanity. His most iconic film, La Conquête, remains a landmark in political cinema. The 2011 biopic chronicled Nicolas Sarkozy's dramatic rise to the presidency with precision and wit, blending satire with deep character exploration. Co-written with Patrick Rotman and led by Denis Podalides in a standout performance, the film stood as both critique and character study, and it resonated far beyond France's borders. Durringer's career didn't begin on the big screen. He emerged from the theater where his powerful command of dialogue and character first drew attention. That foundation never left his work. Whether on stage or in film, he wielded language as both scalpel and brush. He was never afraid to tackle urgent societal issues. One of his later projects, focused on de-radicalization, earned him an International Emmy Award, an accolade that reflected his ability to translate complex topics into human stories. Durringer's peers respected him not only for his intellect, but for his heart. He was known for mentoring young filmmakers and defending the place of art in public life. His agent called him an immense author, praising the density and sensitivity in his body of work. Audiences followed his stories not just to be entertained, but to understand, to reflect, to question, and for that, he garnered not just awards, but gratitude. Tributes have poured in across France. Directors, actors, and cultural leaders mourn the loss of a storyteller unafraid to peel back the surface. Though funeral details remain private, his absence is felt deeply by all who believe in art as a force of clarity. Xavier Durringer leaves behind a legacy of truth in storytelling. Films and plays that challenged power, examined identity, and captured the fragile balances in public and private life. His voice may be gone, but his words remain, etched across stages and screens, still echoing in the minds of those he moved. In a world often clouded by noise, Xavier Durringer offered sharp vision. His truth endures. He brought elegance to every role, no matter how small. These words, shared by a colleague, reflect the grace and depth that defined John Woodvine's remarkable career and life. Woodvine, a revered figure in British theatre and screen, passed away peacefully on October 6, 2025, at the age of 96. Born in South Shields in 1929, John Woodvine carved out a place in the hearts of audiences over a career that spanned more than 70 years. His extraordinary range as a performer made him a constant presence across stage, film, and television, where he moved seamlessly between comedy, drama, and the macabre. Stage work was where Woodvine's talents often shone brightest. After graduating from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, he joined the Old Vic in the 1950s and later became a familiar face with the Royal Shakespeare Company. Among more than 70 stage credits, his portrayal of Banquo in the 1976 Macbeth, alongside Ian McKellen and Judi Dench, remains legendary. In 1987, he was awarded an Olivier Award for Comedy Performance of the Year for the Henrys at the Old Vic, a testament to his enduring presence and adaptability as a performer. Audiences around the world also knew him for his iconic screen roles. He brought quiet authority and unwavering presence to characters like Detective Inspector Whitty in Zed Cars, and terrified and delighted viewers in the cult horror classic An American Werewolf in London. His television appearances were as eclectic as they were compelling. Doctor Who, Midsummer Murders, Shameless, and The Crown among them. His final performance in the haunting 2022 film Ennis Men encapsulated his lifelong dedication to storytelling. Beyond the spotlights and cameras, Woodvine was deeply respected for his humility, wisdom, and willingness to mentor others. Colleagues describe him as generous, precise, humorous, and utterly devoted to the craft. Phil Belfield, his agent, shared, "John was an extraordinary actor and had a fabulous and varied career in all areas of the industry. He was greatly admired by all and will be sadly missed and fondly remembered by everyone who met, knew, and worked with him." He is survived by his wife, actress Lynn Farley, and daughters Mary and Emma. While details of a memorial have not been announced, reflections from fans and friends continue to pour in online. One tribute read simply, "He gave truth to every line and heart to every scene." John Woodvine leaves behind a legacy that transcends roles and credits. He gave everything to his profession, lifting every production he touched with quiet brilliance. His voice, presence, and humanity will long echo in theaters, living rooms, and the memories of generations who watched him bring characters to life. You never had to wonder where Bobby stood, on the track or in life. He ran full throttle every lap. Those words, passed along by a fellow racer, capture the spirit of Bobby Allen, a legendary force in sprint car racing, whose influence roared far beyond the checkered flag. Bobby Allen, affectionately known in garages and dirt tracks across America as Scruffy, left behind one of the most enduring legacies in motorsports, not just for his 276-plus career wins or his place in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, but for the way he built a life and a family through grit, skill, and a relentless drive to push forward. He didn't invent outlaw racing, but he helped define it. From his earliest days building his first sprint car in 1968 to becoming a charter member of the World of Outlaws, Allen wasn't just part of the race. He helped shape the sport. He racked up unforgettable performances in the All-Star Circuit of Champions, climbed to third in the World of Outlaws standings in 1978, and claimed victory after victory against the best in the world. And yet, despite the trophies, Bobby always made time to teach. He passed on more than driving tips to his son Jacob and grandson Logan. He embedded in them the values of resilience, patience, and courage. Together, the Allens became more than a racing team. They became a dynasty, inspired by a man who saw possibilities where others saw limits. The racing world mourns not just a champion, but a mentor and pioneer. At every corner, from Eldora Speedway to the Florida Sprint Car Nationals, his legacy lingers in the dirt, in the rubber, and in the roar of the crowd. Bobby Allen's story won't be measured in laps led or races won alone, but in hearts touched and futures shaped. His flame burns on in every young driver who dares to chase the dream wide open. Rest easy, Bobby. The track won't be the same without you. Her voice opened doors. Her presence created paths. This sentiment, often echoed in Columbus circles, captures the essence of Anne B. Walker, a woman whose words carried change and whose example lit the way for generations. Raised in a time when opportunities were few for Black women, she forged her own. With a tennis scholarship in hand, she pursued education first, then elevated her dreams into action. From her early days writing for the Ohio Sentinel, Anne spoke truth, grace, and power into the fabric of journalism. But it was behind the microphone and before the bright lights that her legacy truly took form. Anne became the first woman in an on-air and management role at WLWC-TV, breaking ground not just for herself, but for every woman who came after. She interviewed presidents, civil rights leaders, and changemakers, always representing her community with poise and power. Her interviews weren't just conversations, they were historical moments. As host of The Ann Walker Show and Youth Speaks on WVKO-AM, she brought voices to the airwaves that had long been silenced. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter appointed her to the White House Public Affairs Office, a nod to her national impact. Closer to home, she was the first Black woman to serve on the board of the Columbus Zoo, and her advocacy helped shape cultural and political life across the state. Her service extended globally. Bestowed the title of Queen Mother by the King of Ghana, she carried that honor with humility and strength, connecting communities across continents. Senator Harsel Craig once said, "She was an extraordinary example of perseverance, resilience, and compassion." It's a truth reflected in her life at every turn, from her deep faith and work at Bethany Presbyterian Church to the scholarship fund she started in memory of her beloved husband Linwood. Anne B. Walker lived 101 years with purpose, wisdom, and an unwavering belief in the power of words to spark change. She leaves behind a loving family, a legacy woven into the very airwaves of Ohio, and a generation of broadcasters and leaders who found courage by watching her thrive. The Queen Mother of Central Ohio. Broadcast journalism may be gone, but her voice lives on. One of the most beautiful gifts you can give is your authentic self. Kimberly Hébert Gregory lived by these words, pouring her truth into every performance and connection she made. A native of Houston, Texas, Kimberly's magnetic presence extended far beyond screens and stages. With a heart rooted in compassion and a voice filled with purpose, she became a beacon for young performers and a relentless advocate for equity in the arts. Her integrity was matched only by her talent. While she brought unforgettable performances to a wide range of roles, it was her portrayal of Dr. Belinda Brown in HBO's Vice Principals that etched her name into television history. Critics hailed her as the standout force of the series, commanding, vulnerable, and wholly captivating. She brought that same energy to productions across theater, film, and TV, from Craig of the Creek to Genius, Aretha, crafting characters that felt deeply human. Before the spotlight, Kimberly earned degrees in psychology and social work, lending depth to her roles and giving her a unique lens into the human experience. She was a woman who listened deeply, spoke honestly, and lifted others with grace. Actor Walton Goggins, her co-star on Vice Principals, shared, "Kimberly lit up every room, on set and off. She brought soul to the stories we told, and love to the people she met. She leaves behind her beloved son, the joy of her life, and a legacy that stretches far beyond the screen." Kimberly Hébert. Gregory's light may no longer shine in presence, but it echoes in every life she touched. Her spirit will continue to inspire endlessly, real, resilient, and radiant. I never knew what it meant to be part of history. I just knew what it felt like to be near it. That quiet reflection, once shared by Ike Turner Jr., captures the essence of a life shaped by legends, but defined by his own quiet strength. As the adopted son of musical giants Ike Turner Sr. and Tina Turner, Ike Jr. lived within a world few can imagine. But while his parents electrified stages across continents, Ike Jr. chose a quieter path. He found his own rhythm behind the scenes, working briefly as a sound engineer for Tina, helping sculpt the sound that captivated millions. Though the spotlight was never where he stood, his presence behind it mattered. Born to Ike Sr. and Lorraine Taylor, and raised under the wings of rock and soul royalty, Ike Jr. carried a legacy complex and profound. Yet those who knew him say he moved through life with humility, keeping love for family close even as health difficulties darkened his later years. He faced declining health with the same quiet resilience he showed throughout his life, ultimately succumbing to kidney failure after several years of battling heart issues. He never asked for recognition, shared a family member, but our lives were fuller just for knowing him. He followed in the footsteps of his late parents and brothers Craig and Ronnie, rejoining them in rest. The Turner name is tied forever to musical greatness. Ike Jr.'s legacy lies in what endures behind a curtain, the care, the effort, and the grace that help lift others onto center stage. Though his voice never ruled the airwaves, those who called him friend or family heard music in his presence, steady, calm, unforgettable. And that, perhaps, is its own kind of fame. Don't be afraid of the space someone leaves behind. Step into it and make it your own. These words, shared often by Belva Davis, were more than advice. They were a testament to how she lived her extraordinary life. Belva Davis, a visionary who carved new paths through American media and shattered glass ceilings, has passed away at 92. As the first Black female television journalist on the West Coast, she brought courage and grace to the newsroom, forever changing the face of broadcast journalism. For over 5 decades, Davis stood where few had stood before, reporting on history as it unfolded and helping the nation understand its most defining moments. Her career was marked by bold storytelling, from the fervor of the free speech movement to the heartbreak of Jonestown and the AIDS crisis. With 8 Emmy Awards and anchoring roles at KTVU, KRON, KPIX, and nearly 2 decades hosting This Week in Northern California on KQED, Davis left an indelible mark on viewers and colleagues alike. Born in Monroe, Louisiana, and raised in Oakland, California, she began as a freelance writer and evolved into a media icon. Her autobiography, Never in My Wildest Dreams, became a touchstone for those seeking truth, justice, and a voice in journalism. Through every step, she mentored, uplifted, and opened doors for the voices that would follow. She brought class, presence, and intuition to everything she touched, recalled veteran journalist Rita Williams. She was the grande dame who brought out the best in us all. Belva Davis is survived by her husband Bill Moore, 2 children, and 2 grandchildren. Her memory lives on in every newsroom and every young journalist, bold enough to ask the hard questions. Her light does not dim with her passing. It multiplies in the stories told by those she inspired. People laugh because they recognize something true, Patricia Routledge once said. That truth, woven through decades of her work, brought generations of viewers joy, comfort, and delight. Dame Patricia Routledge, DBE, the beloved stage and screen legend, passed away peacefully on October 3, 2025, at the age of 96. Her remarkable legacy stretches from the theaters of Liverpool to the hearts of millions around the world. Her career began in earnest at the Liverpool Playhouse in 1952, blossoming into a commanding presence on both sides of the Atlantic. From the West End to Broadway, Routledge earned admiration for her rich voice, razor-sharp wit, and emotional depth. She won a Tony Award in 1968 for her role in the Broadway musical Darling of the Day, and received an Olivier Award for her dazzling performance in Candide at the Old Vic. Yet, for many, she was forever Hyacinth Bucket, pronounced Bouquet, the proud and prim social climber in the BBC's beloved sitcom Keeping Up Appearances. With that character, she etched herself into British popular culture, garnering 2 BAFTA nominations and the hearts of audiences worldwide. Few performers could balance absurdity with affection so effortlessly, yet she made a national treasure out of a woman fussing over china teacups and candle-lit suppers. Equally adept in dramatic roles, Routledge starred in films like To Sir, With Love, and brought quiet strength as the amateur sleuth Hetty Wainthropp in Hetty Wainthropp Investigates. Her range was staggering. Whether singing before orchestras or invoking laughter with a raised eyebrow, she carried every performance with sincerity and grace. Off-stage, Dame Patricia gave her time and voice to numerous charities. She was appointed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2017, honoring her contributions to the arts and charitable causes. Her longtime agent reflected, even at 96, Dame Patricia's energy never dimmed. She continued to rehearse, reflect, and inspire. Her genius was never just in performance, but in her compassion. Though she never married nor had children, she found family in colleagues, audiences, and communities she supported. She leaves behind a legacy shimmering with humor, artistry, and humanity. The curtain closes on an extraordinary life, but the applause will never fade. Dame Patricia Routledge brought laughter and light wherever she went, and her voice, bold, warm, unforgettable, will echo for generations to come.
He never chased stardom. He let the work speak for itself, a longtime collaborator once said of Jim Mitchum. This quiet strength became his hallmark, both on and off the screen. Born into one of Hollywood's most iconic families, Jim Mitchum carried a surname synonymous with screen legend. But for over 5 decades, he defined his own path, with grit, grace, and a love for storytelling that burned just as bright as his father's legacy. He broke through in Thunder Road, a cult classic that still reverberates with its blend of rebellion and soul. Originally written for Elvis Presley, the role instead introduced Jim's steely charm to the world. From there, he built a career not on hype, but on consistency, depth, and a willingness to play against type. Whether navigating action in The Victors, charging through war-torn tales like In Harm's Way, or embracing the offbeat in The Last Movie, Jim showed a quiet versatility that never clamored for praise, but deserved plenty. He wasn't just another son of a star. He was a long lane of highway in his own right, rugged, seasoned, unmistakably American. Though he stepped back from the spotlight in his later years, retreating to ranch life in Arizona, the films he made continue to find new audiences and appreciation. In an age of spectacle, Jim offered something more enduring: authenticity. His niece once said, "You always knew where you stood with Uncle Jim." His honesty was his compass, and he followed it everywhere, even into his roles. With his passing, the film world dims a little, but the stories he helped tell remain vivid. Jim Mitchum leaves behind more than memories. He leaves behind a quiet legacy of integrity, humility, and the kind of screen presence you can't teach. His was a life defined not by the fame he inherited, but by the quiet courage with which he lived it. The reel may have stopped, but the impact plays on.
As we navigate the complexities of modern life, it's refreshing to see love and commitment shine through despite the challenges. Cheryl Hines, a beloved actress known for her roles in shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, has been making headlines alongside her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Recently, she addressed rumors surrounding their marriage, choosing to focus on the strength of their relationship rather than the controversies. Cheryl, 59, and Robert, 71, have been married since 2014 and have been through their share of public scrutiny. Despite the rumors and controversies, Cheryl emphasizes the importance of open communication and trust in their relationship. In a recent interview, she expressed her support for her husband and highlighted the challenges of navigating public life together. Cheryl is also working on a memoir, Unscripted, where she promises to share more about their journey as a couple. Her resilience and commitment to love are truly inspiring, showing that even in tough times, relationships can endure with the right approach. As we reflect on stories like Cheryl's, we're reminded of the power of love, communication, and trust. Her journey will undoubtedly be remembered for its blend of fortitude and heart, inspiring many as she continues to share her life's experiences with us. Imagine being in the spotlight and still choosing kindness and connection over all the noise. That's exactly what actress Cheryl Hines, age 59, is doing as she faces rumors about her marriage to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., age 71. Despite all the speculation swirling online, Cheryl recently shared that she and Bobby, as she warmly calls him, always lean on friendship, trust, and open conversations to get through tough times. Married since 2014, the couple has weathered plenty of public challenges, including the recent headlines about an alleged texting scandal. But instead of dwelling on rumors, Cheryl calmly assures everyone that, through it all, she's standing by her husband and focusing on what matters most: love and loyalty. What truly shines is Cheryl's resilience and optimism, showing us how grace under pressure can keep families strong. No matter the headlines, Cheryl Hines reminds us all that standing together and trusting each other can help weather any storm. That's a legacy worth celebrating. Well, let's settle in for a little dose of uplifting news, the kind that reminds us of the resilience and warmth families can share, even when times are less than perfect. Today, we're checking in with Cheryl Hines, that beloved actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm, who's opening up in a heartfelt new interview about life with her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, Cheryl, who's 59, and Robert, 71, have seen their share of headlines and internet chatter, especially after he stepped into the national spotlight and joined the Trump administration. Rumors and tough stories have followed, most notably talk of an alleged affair involving a political reporter. But Cheryl's approach has been thoughtful, dignified, and refreshingly honest. She says they talk through everything as best friends, trusting each other through thick and thin. "Bobby and I talk about everything, so that's how we move through everything," she shared, striking a chord that many couples can relate to, that life isn't always smooth, but open communication and friendship help keep a marriage strong. For those who've loved Cheryl's humor on screen, her real-life resilience has been inspiring. She tells the press she's not interested in chasing every rumor or defending herself against every headline. Instead, she focuses on what truly matters: love, trust, and moving forward together. Even when faced with criticism for their choices, like Robert's opposition to vaccines, Cheryl stays true to her own journey, gently questioning convention and encouraging others to think for themselves. Now, Cheryl Hines, remember her as the woman who made us laugh in movies like RV, and today as someone showing us strength and grace when tested by the spotlight. If there's a lesson to take from her story, it's this: marriage, like life, is never simple. But with friendship and trust, couples can find their way through the noise. We'll continue to remember Cheryl for laughter, for honesty, and for showing that even in challenging times, kindness and connection endure. Let's celebrate the people and families who remind us that, with a little courage and a lot of love, we're all stronger together. Well, here's a story that's been lighting up social feeds and family gatherings alike. We're taking a look at the latest chapter between Cheryl Hines, the beloved actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and her husband, environmental activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, this couple has always been in the spotlight. He's 71 and she's 59. But lately, there's been a lot of chatter about their marriage. Despite some pretty persistent rumors, including everything from an alleged scandal to whispers of a split, Cheryl Hines has set the record straight in her own, straightforward way. While she moved from their sunny California home to be with her husband in Washington, D.C., she's made it clear that their marriage is strong. Both are busy. Robert is deep in his work with the Trump administration's health initiatives, and Cheryl is always on the move between coasts, keeping up with her own projects and family. Cheryl recently marked their 11th wedding anniversary with a tender social media post, sharing her excitement for the years ahead, and writing, "Happy anniversary, Bobby. We've had 11 amazing years together, and I can't wait to see what the next 11 will bring. I love you." She went a step further in a Wall Street Journal interview, chatting about the ups and downs of life in the public eye, and even joking about sneaking potato chips when her health-focused husband isn't looking. Cheryl also shared that anyone reading her upcoming memoir, Unscripted, will see that they've put their challenges behind them and are committed to moving forward together. With all the noise around families and public life, Cheryl Hines's approach is refreshing, open, honest, and full of hope. She and Robert may not always agree on everything, but their journey, marked by love, laughter, and the occasional big family splash at Hyannis Port, is a reminder that every marriage has its own story. In the end, when we think about Cheryl and Robert, we'll remember a couple who, through the spotlight and the shadows, chose to face life's twists and turns together, with warmth and a little humor to boot. Imagine a Hollywood star stepping into the spotlight to address rumors and show support for her husband. Cheryl Hines, the beloved actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm, has been in the news lately for her marriage to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a prominent figure known for his involvement in public health issues. Despite recent speculation about their relationship, Cheryl has confirmed that she has moved to Washington, D.C. to be with her husband, dispelling rumors of marital trouble. Cheryl and Robert have been married for over a decade now, and their love and trust for each other seems stronger than ever. While they face challenges, including public scrutiny over Robert's work and controversies surrounding his personal life, Cheryl remains committed to their relationship. She even shared a heartfelt anniversary message expressing her love and anticipation for the years to come. The couple's new life in D.C. is filled with warmth and family history, as they have decorated their Georgetown home with unique art pieces and portraits of the Kennedy family. Cheryl has also found support from fans and her own family, despite some criticism from members of Robert's family. Cheryl's resilience and dedication to her marriage are truly inspiring, and her upcoming memoir promises to offer a deeper look into their journey together. As she continues to support her husband's initiatives, such as the Make America Healthy Again MAHA program, Cheryl Hines will undoubtedly be remembered for her unwavering love and commitment to her family. Imagine living in the public eye with every move scrutinized by millions. For Cheryl Hines, the talented actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm, life has indeed been under a microscope. She's been married to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a renowned environmental attorney since 2020. Recently, rumors swirled about a potential rift in their marriage, fueled by a sexting scandal involving Kennedy. However, Cheryl has silenced these whispers by confirming she's moved to Washington, D.C. to be with her husband. This move not only showcases her commitment to their relationship, but also highlights her strength in navigating the challenges of public life. Cheryl and Robert have faced their share of criticism, particularly from some members of the Kennedy family. Despite this, they remain resilient and supportive of each other's passions. Cheryl has even expressed admiration for Robert's environmental initiatives, showing how their shared values strengthen their bond. As they continue to navigate both their careers and personal lives, their commitment to each other will undoubtedly be remembered as a testament to the power of love and partnership. Their story serves as an inspiring reminder that even amidst challenges, mutual support and respect can lead to a lasting and fulfilling relationship. Here's a remarkable story of talent, resilience, and heart. Cheryl Hines, now 60, is a name many will recognize from 2 decades as Larry David's quick-witted wife on HBO's iconic Curb Your Enthusiasm. From her early days in Miami Beach, working as a waitress and studying improv in Los Angeles, Cheryl carved her own unique path to Hollywood stardom, earning 2 Emmy nominations and a well-deserved star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Beyond making us laugh on screen, Cheryl's journey is filled with inspiring turns. She stepped behind the camera as a director, co-founded her own eco-friendly beauty brand, and became a dedicated advocate for children and environmental causes. In her personal life, she found happiness marrying Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in 2014 and raising her daughter, all while balancing her career and giving back to the community. From blockbuster comedies to heartfelt indie films, Cheryl Hines has given older and younger audiences plenty of reasons to smile. Her story reminds us that with hard work, kindness, and authenticity, it's always possible to make a positive impact on screen, at home, and in the world. Cheryl Hines, beloved by millions for her quick wit and bright smile, has shown us that remarkable journeys often start in the humblest places. Born in Miami Beach in 1965, Cheryl went from waiting tables to dazzling on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm, where she made television history as Cheryl David over 24 years and earned 2 Emmy nominations. Many know her as the caring, comedic wife on screen, but her talents shine behind the camera too, directing films like Serious Moonlight and even co-founding an eco-friendly beauty brand. Offstage, Cheryl cherishes family life with her daughter and husband Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and she devotes energy to causes like United Cerebral Palsy. Through every challenge and triumph, Cheryl Hines has inspired audiences with authenticity, kindness, and laughter, reminding us all that success is sweetest when shared. Her legacy of talent, heart, and positivity continues to light up both Hollywood and the community. I don't have access to browse external websites or visit specific URLs, so I cannot access the MSN link you provided to gather those particular details about Cheryl Hines. However, I can create a news script based on the information available from the search results about her career and personal life. Here's a family-friendly news script about Cheryl Hines. You know her as the patient wife putting up with Larry David's antics on HBO's hit comedy, Curb Your Enthusiasm. But Cheryl Hines has built quite the remarkable journey both on and off screen. The 59-year-old actress, who was born in Miami Beach, Florida, has spent over 2 decades making audiences laugh while carving out an impressive Hollywood career that spans far beyond her most famous role. Hines didn't start with the typical Hollywood story. She worked her way up from being a waitress to training at the famous Groundlings Improv Theater in Los Angeles, where she learned alongside comedy legends like Lisa Kudrow. Her big break came when she landed the role of Cheryl David on Curb Your Enthusiasm back in 2000, a show that would run for an incredible 24 seasons and earn her 2 Emmy nominations along the way. What makes her performance so special is that every single line of dialogue on the show is completely improvised. That's right, no script, just pure comedic talent and quick thinking. Over her career, she's appeared in 79 different film and television projects, from family favorites like Herbie Fully Loaded and RV with Robin Williams to more dramatic roles in indie films like Waitress. But Hines isn't just an actress. She stepped behind the camera in 2009 to direct her first film, Serious Moonlight, and has been involved in producing television shows focused on helping communities, like School Pride. She's also made her mark as an entrepreneur, co-founding an eco-friendly beauty brand. In her personal life, Hines married environmental lawyer and political figure Robert F. Kennedy Jr. back in 2014. She's also a devoted mother and serves on the board of United Cerebral Palsy, using her platform to support important causes. From improvised comedy gold to directing, producing, and advocacy work, Cheryl Hines continues to prove that authentic talent and hard work create lasting success. Her legacy in entertainment and her commitment to making a positive impact will surely inspire performers and audiences for years to come. Did you hear the latest about Cheryl Hines, the beloved actress known to so many from Curb Your Enthusiasm? At 59, Cheryl, alongside her daughter Catherine, recently made a big decision to gracefully close the doors on their eco-friendly beauty line, Hines Plus Young, after 2 years of heartfelt work. This family-run business was created with a vision: sustainable, luxury self-care products using natural ingredients and recyclable packaging, all inspired by Cheryl's Florida childhood and her daughter's commitment to clean beauty. A true passion project for both generations. The decision comes as Cheryl's husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., was appointed as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. In a thoughtful move, Cheryl agreed to end sales out of respect for new ethical guidelines, promising to wrap up within the next few months. It's a bittersweet ending for the brand, but it's also an inspiring reminder of how family, values, and public service often come together in unexpected ways. Hines Plus Young leaves behind a legacy of affordable, earth-friendly luxury, and Cheryl and Catherine's dedication surely won't be forgotten. For fans who've enjoyed the warmth and care behind every product, their commitment to doing the right thing truly sets an example we can all appreciate. You know, when it comes to family and business, balance is everything. Take Cheryl Hines, the talented actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm, who recently made headlines for her decision to close her eco-friendly beauty brand, Hines Plus Young. This move follows her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s appointment as the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary. Cheryl and her daughter Catherine launched Hines Plus Young in 2023, focusing on sustainable, affordable, luxury skincare products. The brand gained attention for its commitment to reducing plastic pollution by using recyclable glass and aluminum packaging. With products like all-natural candles and body sprays, Cheryl aimed to make self-care accessible to everyone while promoting environmental responsibility. In a recent video that sparked controversy, Cheryl humorously tried to promote her brand by filming in her bathroom, where her husband was showering. While the video didn't resonate well with some viewers, it highlighted Cheryl's creative approach to balancing family life and business. The decision to close Hines Plus Young reflects Cheryl's dedication to her husband's public role and her commitment to maintaining ethical standards in their family's professional endeavors. As Cheryl and her family navigate this new chapter, it's clear that her legacy in entertainment and her passion for sustainability will continue to inspire. Her story serves as a reminder of the challenges and opportunities that come with balancing personal and professional life, and how one can make lasting impacts through both creative pursuits and environmentally conscious choices. It's not every day you hear about the power of love and loyalty in the heart of Hollywood, but when it comes to Cheryl Hines and her husband Robert F. Kennedy Jr., their story has certainly grabbed attention lately. Cheryl, best known for her charming role on Curb Your Enthusiasm and an accomplished actress in her own right, made headlines recently when she chose to halt sales of her cosmetics line. At 59, with a career that spans beloved television and film, Cheryl Hines has always been candid about both her personal and professional life. Her decision to pause her beauty brand came amid a wave of online chatter, but she's made it clear she stands by her husband, even when the spotlight gets intense. In her own words, she's focused on what matters most, their relationship, and moving forward together. While industry whispers and online buzz have painted a complex picture, Cheryl's public stance remains steadfast and positive. She's spoken openly with major outlets, emphasizing friendship, trust, and love as the foundation of her marriage. And while the couple continues to face challenges in both the public eye and private life, Cheryl's message has been consistent. She's choosing unity over division and support over silence. What's truly inspiring is her willingness to put personal values above professional pursuits, even in the face of controversy. For her fans, Cheryl's journey is a reminder that sometimes stepping away from the spotlight is the bravest move of all. As she looks ahead, whether returning to acting, continuing her memoir, or simply enjoying quiet moments with family, Cheryl Hines leaves a legacy of compassion, courage, and quiet strength, qualities that she and the audiences who've come to admire her will surely remember for years to come. Hello, friends. It's always a privilege to sit down and share stories that touch our hearts, especially when they remind us of the courage and compassion we see every day. Today, let's talk about Cheryl Hines, the beloved actress, who recently opened up about a deeply personal journey as her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., pursued a run for the presidency in 2024. Right from the start of his campaign, Cheryl shared that she faced real fears for her husband's safety, concerns made even more poignant by the tragic history of the Kennedy family, with her husband's father, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and his uncle, President John F. Kennedy, both having been lost to violence decades ago. Cheryl spoke candidly about the everyday anxieties she faced, including the weight of knowing her family's story and the constant question from others. Was she worried for her husband's safety? She admitted she was, especially since, for much of the campaign, he did not receive Secret Service protection. Even today, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. serving as Secretary of Health and Human Services, Cheryl shared that she believes he still shields her from some of the threats he faces, a testament to both their partnership and the unique pressures that come with public life. While the details are deeply personal and at times somber, Cheryl's willingness to speak openly gives us all a chance to reflect on the sacrifices made by families in the spotlight and the resilience they show. Her story is a reminder of the bonds that hold us together, the importance of kindness, and the hope we carry forward, even in challenging times. It's clear, Cheryl Hines and the Kennedy family's legacy will be remembered not just for their trials, but for their enduring strength, compassion, and commitment to service. I cannot access external links or browse the internet, so I'm unable to visit the Yahoo News link you provided. However, based on the search results available, I can create a script about Cheryl Hines discussing her fears for her husband Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s safety during his presidential campaign. Here's a news script suitable for YouTube narration. Cheryl Hines, the beloved actress known for her role on Curb Your Enthusiasm, recently opened up about the constant worry she carried during her husband Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s presidential campaign. In a heartfelt interview with CBS News, Hines shared that she lived in daily fear for Bobby's safety after he launched his 2024 presidential bid back in April 2023. The actress revealed that people would ask her almost every day if she worried about her husband facing the same tragic fate as his father, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1968, or his uncle, President John F. Kennedy, who was killed in Dallas in 1963. With remarkable honesty, Hines admitted she was indeed very worried about the possibility of violence against her husband. What made her anxiety even greater was the fact that Kennedy didn't receive Secret Service protection while campaigning, something Hines found particularly stressful. She suspects that Bobby may not even share all the threats he receives, likely trying to shield her from additional worry. Despite launching his campaign as a Democrat and later running as an independent before endorsing President Trump, Kennedy's dedication to public service continues as he now serves as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Through it all, Cheryl Hines has shown incredible strength and grace, supporting her husband while managing her own very real concerns. Her openness about these fears reminds us of the personal sacrifices political families make in service to our country, and the courage it takes to stand by those we love when they choose to serve the public good. It's not every day we get a peek into the deeply personal side of public figures, but beloved actress Cheryl Hines recently opened up about something truly heartfelt. Many know Cheryl as a talented performer and as the wife of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who made headlines with his 2024 presidential campaign. Cheryl shared that, from the moment her husband announced his run, she faced a constant worry for his safety, reflecting on the family's history and the loss of both his father and uncle to tragic assassinations decades ago. Despite the challenges and her daily fears, Cheryl spoke with grace, expressing admiration for her husband's courage, while also highlighting the strength it takes to stand by a loved one in the public eye. Through it all, Cheryl's story is a reminder of the love and resilience that so many demonstrate behind the scenes, especially when the stakes are highest. As we honor those who face uncertainty with hope and steadfastness, Cheryl Hines will be remembered not only for her accomplishments on screen, but for her deep compassion and unwavering bravery as a partner and as a person.